Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Item 1, resumption of debate on the Road Traffic Amendment Bill, second reading.
Ms. Rahayu Mahzam.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to begin my speech in Malay. Saya telah membaca laporan akhbar tentang satu selidikan yang dibuat oleh polis trafik baru-baru ini yang melibatkan 1,000 pengguna jalan raya. Dapatan daripada penyelidikan ini menunjukkan bahawa ramai pemandu yang merasakan diri mereka baik apabila ditanya tentang tahap keselamatan dan kesantunan mereka di jalan raya. Namun mereka merasakan tahap keselamatan dan kesantunan pemandu yang lain kurang baik. Ini sebenarnya membimbangkan kerana ianya mencerminkan pemikiran dan sikap pemandu-pemandu di Singapura. Sekiranya semua pemandu mementingkan diri sendiri, ini boleh membawa kepada lebih banyak bahaya dan kemalangan di jalan raya. Saya rasa penting untuk kita terus berusaha untuk mendorong kelakuan yang baik di jalan raya. Selain itu, saya juga telah membaca laporan tentang peningkatan maklum balas tentang pemandu yang tidak bertanggungjawab. Walaupun jumlah kemalangan telah menurun, di antara tahun 2014 dan 2018, jumlah maklum balas yang diterima polis trafik tentang pemandu yang tidak bertanggungjawab berganda daripada 6,900 kepada 18,500. Antara tahun 2015 dan 2018, jumlah saman yang dikenakan meningkat daripada 152,700 hingga 181,000. Walaupun mungkin rata-rata jumlah kemalangan telah berkurangan, setiap satu kemalangan itu adalah sesuatu yang tidak diingini. Kemalangan yang serius membawa kecederaan dan kematian dan kita perlu melakukan yang terbaik untuk mengelakkannya. Satu cara adalah dengan memperkuatkan perundangan untuk mengekang kelakuan buruk di jalan raya. Maka itu saya mengalu-alukan rang undang-undang hari ini. Diharapkan selain daripada perundangan, kita juga dapat terus menggandakan usaha meningkatkan kesedaran dan mendidik orang ramai tentang peri pentingnya keselamatan dan kesantunan di jalan raya. Mr. Speaker, in English. I read with interest the news report on the outcome of the survey conducted by the Traffic Police recently. The nationwide study, which involved 1,000 respondents from various groups including car drivers, taxi drivers and the elderly, revealed that most car users thought positively of themselves when asked to rate their level of safety and graciousness. However, when it came to rate the behaviour of others, most thought negatively of other drivers. I find this both slightly amusing and worrying. Amusing as it is not unfamiliar. I drive, and when I am on the road, there would be instances when I felt that the drivers are so inconsiderate, especially when they do not give way to me. However, I'm sure there may be moments when others would have thought the same of me too. On a more serious and at a deeper level though, this finding reflects the mentality of Singaporean drivers, and I feel that it is important to continue to nudge behaviours and develop a culture of safe and gracious driving. I also note an earlier news report sharing that the penalties for irresponsible driving in Singapore is less severe than in some other jurisdictions. Further, it was mentioned that although the number of traffic accidents has dropped, the feedback on irresponsible driving has gone up. The annual statistics from the Traffic Police showed that while there were fewer traffic accidents last year, the number of drink driving accidents and motorists who ran red lights went up. The number of drink driving accidents increased by 17.3% to 176 cases last year from 150 in 2017. Motorcyclists who were drink driving and got involved in accidents increased by 51.3% to 59 cases in 2018 from 39 cases in 2017. However, the number of people arrested for drink driving decreased despite an increase in the number of drink driving enforcement operations conducted in 2018. The number of red light running violations spiked by 15.7% to 53,910 cases. This is 7,311 cases more than 2017's 46,599 violations. Accidents caused by red light running increased slightly by 2.6% to 120 accidents from 117 accidents in 2017. Statistics aside, traffic accidents can have severe consequences. In the more serious accidents, lives are lost, and one life lost is one too many. It is therefore important to continue to encourage safe driving and shape the behaviours of road users. Our traffic laws and rules are indeed one way to shape behaviours on the road, and it may be time to further strengthen the penalties to target the egregious offences. I welcome the enhancements introduced in the bill. I would like to, however, make some comments on the amendments. Firstly, in respect of the amendment to Section 35 of the bill, I note that before revoking a person's driving licence, the Deputy Commissioner of Police must give a notice to the driver, and the notice period must be at least 4 weeks before the revocation date. The proposed amendment also sets out a framework for the submission of any representations or objections. I note from the proposed sections 35B, 2 and 3 that the Deputy Commissioner of Police could proceed to revoke the licence on the proposed revocation date if the appeal is rejected. I would like to seek a clarification on whether the Deputy Commissioner is at liberty to give any further notice or time to the driver before the revocation. I ask because there may be some people who depend on driving for their livelihood. They may still remain hopeful after submitting representations and may need further time before the final implementation of the revocation. I note that there needs to be a balance between the need to quickly take errant drivers off the roads and to ensure fairness in the process. I would just like to seek clarification on whether the Deputy Commissioner of Police has the discretion to extend the notice period before revocation. My second point also relates to those who drive for a living. I suspect that because of the length of time they spend on the roads, because they may be subjected to the vagaries of passenger demands and road conditions, or because they may have become overconfident as they are quite familiar with driving, they may statistically be more likely to commit more traffic offences. I wonder if we have done any analysis on the circumstances of the traffic offenders so that there could be a more targeted approach to address this issue. Because I believe that aside from creating deterrents and penalties, we really should look into shaping the behaviour of drivers and understanding perhaps some of the challenges drivers face and address them. Perhaps there could be efforts in rehabilitating bad behaviour very early on. I believe that the driver improvement in point system or DIPS was one good way to encourage good behaviour. Could there perhaps be some enhancements to this program to provide more specific support and motivation to these drivers? My third point is a general point related to the above. As noted earlier, alongside enhancements of penalties, I believe there is a necessity to strengthen awareness and encourage safe driving. I'm happy to hear that the Singapore Road Safety Council will be ramping up its efforts to raise awareness on safe and gracious behaviour on the roads. I think perhaps we could look at generating strong awareness of driving etiquettes in specific situations. For example, I'm not sure if many Singaporean drivers follow the zipper rule. According to the rule, when traffic merges, drivers emerging from the left and right should alternately give way to one another so that traffic flows smoothly. I'm sure a lot of things are taught before one gets a license. However, the lived experience on the roads may be different. So I hope that all parties and agencies will continue in the effort to create awareness and build better habits and culture on the roads in Singapore. Notwithstanding the above, I stand in support of the bill.